Hey, this is Jamie at Useful Knowledge. Well, this year I planted sugarcane. Now I live in North Alabama and we're kind of on the hairy edge of whether or not you can grow sugarcane. Supposedly Birmingham and below you can, but I actually grew it up here this year. It's late October. You can see that beautiful maple behind the sugarcane clusters is turning absolutely beautiful colors. But it's time to harvest this sugarcane now. So we're gonna harvest it and we're gonna make some syrup. So stay tuned. You can see we got that purple mature part of the cane up to about 5 feet tall. So I'm pretty happy about that. You can see I planted them in clusters. Now I can't claim this idea. I got it off of Deep South Homestead's YouTube channel. Saw what he did with that. I followed his idea and wow, it worked great. So we're gonna harvest this and then we're gonna make syrup. So before I harvest this, I wanna show you what is mature enough to actually cut and use. You can see where it's purple there. I actually came out here a few days ago and cut one of these and it was very, very sweet. We actually chewed on it kind of like candy for a couple of days, and so we're excited about harvesting this and making syrup. Now obviously up here in North Alabama you're not going to get it all the way to maturity like you would in very deep South Alabama, Mississippi, or even into Florida, but like I said before, this is going to make some great syrup. Next year I'm going to plant probably another 3, maybe 6 of these clusters, and so we can have more volume. But as a first year, we're very excited about this. Okay, just got done harvesting this sugar cane. Full disclosure, it took me 45 minutes to do all 3. Next year, I'm probably going to have 6 to 9 of these. So that means it's going to take me an hour and a half, maybe 2.5 hours tops to do them all. I'm pretty excited because this is a lot faster than sorghum and there's a lot more juice in there. Okay, I'm about to get going this morning pressing some sugarcane, and I just want to show you the sprockets on this sugarcane press. Yes, it's a $250 press from Amazon, but just look at the sprockets. They're just massive, those teeth. Let me get it here on the other side and I'll show you the sprockets on the other side. Massive as well. I used this last year for sorghum and it was stout. I honestly think this thing would eat my arm if I wasn't careful. Okay, we've gotten into this pretty well and figured out that sugar cane is a lot thicker than sorghum. So we started cutting it in quarters and these machines are just doing awesome. Okay, I'm gonna run a few through and show you what it's doing. Like I said, I cut that into quarters. Really easy to do. I just took a machete and just ran it down through there. I'm cutting quarters. You see the juice coming out. I'll get the camera over so you can see the juice coming out. Alright, there's the sugarcane juice coming out, and that's just out of that 1/4 piece. It's about 3 feet long. What we've been doing is running them back through a second time. Actually, a guy in South Alabama recommended that, and it works really well. Okay, I want to show you my press here, and yes, this is a poor man's press. Alright, I bought this for $250 off of Amazon. It has stainless steel rollers. I'll get in there and show you that. It's got a screen down here. You can see how much stuff it's collected just off a little bit of sugar cane there. Alright, so what did I do next? I bought a 1 horsepower motor from Harbor Freight. That was about 180 bucks. And I got a 25% discount off of that because I had that coupon. I got my pulleys and blocks in the back to reduce that motor so it won't turn the press too fast. And you can see it turning the press up here. The whole thing got about $600 in it. Yes, it's a poor man's press, but it's absolutely working great. And this one I ran last year, so I know it will make it through a season. This one ran sorghum last year. This year it's running sugarcane. I built them identical. Okay, I'm over here at my syrup cooker, and what I'm doing with this sugarcane is I've got two basically hotel type cook pans that you would see on a buffet. And I've seen several people doing this on the internet, and so that's what I'm going to do, because I don't really have enough juice to bring out one of my big pans. So this year I'm going to use these two pans, and then next year, if everything works out, we will have more sugarcane syrup, because I am going to plant more this coming winter, and we can move back up to the big pans. So out of those 3 clusters, I ended up with about 6 gallons. All right. And as you saw, I strained this through double cheesecloth, and there was a strainer on my my presses as well. So it's really clean, and we're about to turn it on. We're going to turn on our burners, and we're going to get going. All right, I got my homemade pipe burner, and you can see in there, looking really good. Got a little yellow flame, but I don't have it turned up very high yet. And this is my other pipe burner, and that's got the purchase Venturi on it. And you can see it's got the yellow flame too. Like I said, got them both on kind of low right now, and I'm going to turn them up as this juice warms up. Okay, this has been going for about an hour. You can see that it's not quite boiling, but it is moving around a little bit. I've got a lot of skim that's come up to the top. I actually skimmed it probably about 20 minutes ago. I'm gonna go ahead and skim it again. You can see as I do this how this gets up on this skimmer. You can see it right there. I just knock that off and gently go through this. All right, you see it right there. We're just gonna keep letting this go, and I'm gonna go skim the other pan. Well, it's getting dark on us, but we're gonna keep going. So if you look, we probably have evaporated off about an inch, maybe a little bit more in this pan, and about an inch in that one. Not a lot of skim. Just haven't had a lot of skim. Had a little bit at first, but not a lot lately. And we're just going to let it keep going. Eventually, probably in about an hour, I'm going to take what's left in this pan and put it in that one, or vice versa, whichever one I want to do. And then we're going to cook it down from that point. Okay, well, it's gotten dark on us, but the juice is cooking down really nicely. I haven't turned up the flame to really try to finish it off, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what's in here and put it in there, and then I'm probably going to amp the flame up just a little bit. But it's actually cooking off nicely. Cooked this so far for about 2 hours and 40 minutes, so it's going well. So I'm going to move this to there and keep going with it. Okay, it's been about 4 hours total. So around 2 hours and 40 minutes, I moved all of the juice that had cooked down over here in that pan into this pan, and I turned up the burner. So now we're cooking this off, and it's actually cooking off nicely, as you can see. Went ahead and filled that with water because we want to use that as a heat barrier and not let the heat out on that side from the burners. And I did turn that burner off, but I got this one going. I turned it up a little bit more than what it was. So we're getting there. It's probably going to be another couple of hours before we're ready to make syrup though. Okay, we've been out this probably about 5.5 hours and actually starting to get up to temperature. Starting to get a good boil out of it. And we have cooked it down to, we've got about 1.5 inches to 2 inches left in this pan right here. So we're getting there, probably like another hour, but it's getting close. Just want to show you, this is my homemade pipe burner with my homemade venturi, and it is rocking up under there. You can check the channel for the video on how I built that one, but this is the 2-foot pipe burner. Okay, we got a good boil going on, and I'll get my headlamp over here so that you can see that. Got a good boil, and we are almost there. This thing is going to really start to take off here in the next little bit. We are getting real close. This has been cooking for 6 hours, and at any minute now we're going to hit that stage with those little bubbles, and then we're going to go to the big bubbles, and it'll be ready to take off the heat. So we're going to keep going. Okay, we are there. You can see this right here. It's starting to sheet off that spoon. And that is turning thick. So we got syrup. We're going to go ahead and turn it off. And we're going to put it in some jars. Oh, look at those big bubbles. That's what we're supposed to be looking for. Right there, big bubbles popping up about 1 inch wide. So, from what I've been told, and looking at videos, especially Deep South Homestead's videos, that's what you're supposed to be looking for, and that's what we've got. We're going to turn it off. Okay, one last step. You need to bring your pan inside, get it out of where the bugs are at, and let it cool down, all right, before you bottle it. So I just brought this in here. I'm going to let it cool off for maybe an hour, and then I'm going to put it in the jars. So if you don't, then for some reason, and I don't know why, it will stay thin even when it cools down. So this is a step that not a lot of people show, but there is a cool down process. I've actually made that mistake with sorghum syrup, and almost made that mistake with this. But right now, this is absolutely awesome. I actually tried it in a bowl just a minute ago. When it cooled off, it was perfect consistency. So yes, don't forget the cool down process. Okay, so I brought the syrup into the house and I let it cool down. It's probably been a couple hours. I want to show you the consistency of that. It's just perfect, and an absolutely perfect color, and it tastes even better. This is some of the best tasting syrup I've ever had in my entire life. It honestly has almost a buttery taste to it. So there you go. We're going to put this in some mason jars, put a lid on it, and put it in the pantry. Now, obviously it won't seal because this is cool, but it doesn't have to. It's going to last fine in there without issue. Okay, so we hope you gained some useful knowledge on how we grew purple ribbon cane, we processed it, and we made syrup. Thanks so much for watching.